Hey guys, Jordan here. You may remember about a year ago I looked at the Asus Prime AP201. That was a really great compact case. You could fit a 360 IO, full-size ATX power supply. Now Asus are bringing out the AP202, bigger brother, but a complete redesign from what we originally had on the 201. Let me get it out of the box and I'll tell you all about it. And there is the 202. So as you can see, very drastically different from the 201. I'll put a picture on the screen so you can see, but obviously the main thing here is going to be this airflow section that you can get some nice fresh air in up for your GPU. Now of course we've also got this big piece of glass, so if we undo that at the front there, we should then be able to slide this out. I wonder what the yield they get out of this is. Pretty low, I would have thought, being that we've got that really nice bend on there. And then of course you can see into the case, but we'll run you through it and talk more about the insides. Let's first go to the top. So on the top here we have got a removable section to access where you're going to install your AIO. On the back of that we haven't got any dust filtration, but it's that fine material so it will stop dust coming through, yet you get good airflow. Most people will be using this as an exhaust anyway, so the hot air will be coming out the top rather than going in. And like I said, in the previous case we had support for a 360mm AIO, and that continues here on the 202. You could of course do 3 120s, 2 140s, whatever you'd prefer. We've also got a power button that looks to be illuminated, then 2 USB 3 ports, a Type-C, a headphone and microphone and combi jack, and a reset button. Nice to see that we've got 2 USB-A's and a Type-C on the top of the case. I'm wondering if we'll see an adapter for the headphone and microphone combi jack though. Then just going to the bottom of the case, not a lot to talk about here. We have got some good depth on the feet though. That's good if you're going to use your power supply with intaking at the bottom. Then you've also got a little removable dust filter. Nothing special, but does the job. So into the belly of the beast, we will have up to micro ATX supports at MATX. You can also do ITX. Just bear in mind you won't fit an ATX board in this case. Of course, further down we have got that cooling slot that I mentioned, so we're going to get some nice fresh air drawn up through there. It's quite tricky to see, but there's also a RGB light strip that goes around the outside as well, which really looks cool. I'll put a picture on the screen so you can see that lit up. Lots of cutouts for our cable management to come through, your 24 pins, and also your front panel and things at the bottom there as well. Then in terms of our limitations, you've got a maximum CPU height of 175mm. Then for graphics card support, you can fit a whopping 420mm graphics card in there. There's nothing that long on the market at the moment though anyway, thankfully, but there is the space there should you want to use something that's bigger or massive in the future. So just tearing this up, here we can see the support for the additional fans, like I mentioned, to be drawn in through the underside. You can do up to 3 120mm fans, and that bracket is easily removable with just a thumb screw, so you can put all the fans on and then bring it in after the fact. Then at the back we have got our 4 expansion brackets for our motherboard, and then I'll just flip this around and we can look at the rear of the case. Of course, our 120mm rear exhaust fan where our motherboard IO will come out. Then of course our power supply installation at the bottom. Onto the back panel, we've got a little bit of Asus Prime branding, and also some cutouts for obviously ventilation to the fans on the side. So taking that away, we've got quite a lot of cables already pre-installed. Obviously all of these fan cables and things are RGB too, so there's a bit more bulk there. We've got our HD audio front panel connections all on one. There's the USB Type A, then the Type C connector, then a 5V addressable 3-pin RGB for all of our RGB that's installed already. Got some accessories in this little packet it seems as well. Pretty standard stuff there, just some screws and also some zip ties, nothing really special. Now we've got a couple of hard drive sleds, seem to be very stuck in the bottom of the case here. Let's try and wiggle these out. There we go, there's one and then the other. So that can support 2 3.5-inch or 2 2.5-inch drives. And then these will just slide back in place like so. This isn't a removable cage, unfortunately. It is riveted in, but should you want to really get rid of it, you could pop those rivets out if you needed to. Then for our power supply support, we have got up to a 200mm power supply here. Might be a little bit restrictive with this cage in. I did think about using one of the Corsair shifts for this, but where it secures into place, it will sit quite high, so your cables might be rather tight and squashed against the back panel. So this may not be the best case for one of these power supplies, but initially it was a good idea. If it sat a little bit further down, maybe like there, it would probably be fine, but as it does go up a little bit higher to fit onto that bracket, I think it may be a little bit tight. There's loads of different zip tie points all over the case as well, so perfect up there for your EPS cables to go up and around. And of course you have got the Prime Velcro cable ties on there as well. You have got a maximum of 30mm of depth there to play with for your cables. So the thick ones like the 24 pin will have plenty of room to be managed up there as well. The last little thing I've just noticed, we've also got a little hole here for any fans that you install for the vent slot around the other side. You can easily bring those through and then manage them at the back. First impressions, pretty impressed. I would like a little bit more depth there for the power supply, especially as you have got the cage there, which is a bit of a limiting factor. So that was a little look around the case. Unfortunately, I don't have a test system for this size case. I think that's something we'll have to look into, as we are seeing a lot more smaller form factor cases coming out. However, I will be doing a full build in this. Asus have kindly sent over their Prime 360 cooler. We've also got the B850 M80X board that we looked at a little while ago that can go in this as well. So we'll have a build very soon. Stay tuned. I'm loving this piece of curved glass. I think that's really cool. And that's something we're seeing quite a lot nowadays on these cases too. So let me know what kind of spec you'd like to see. I did mention the B850 board, but of course AM5's got a lot of different SKUs within that. So we can go for a lower end, like price to performance build, or we could go for a higher end. Would you like me to try and max out the 420mm of space with the graphics card? Or would you like to see something a little bit more bang for buck? We've got, of course, lots of different options. We'll have a chat down in the comments about it. So I'll also leave this linked in the description box below if you want to pick one up, if you've seen enough from this video alone. Thank you to Asus for sending this out for me to look at. Make sure you get subscribed and ding the bell so you don't miss the build when that goes live. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.